So you're thinking about moving to Colorado Springs. And why wouldn't you? It's absolutely gorgeous here. Beautiful mountain views, a thriving job market, and all sorts of surroundings for the thriving outdoors people. But there's a side of Colorado Springs that not many people are talking about. And that is a problem. I know that a lot of times on our channel, we only talk about the great parts about Colorado Springs, and today that changes. Imagine you uproot your family, you come here to live the dream, only to find out it's a nightmare because it's not meeting your expectations. Today, we're going to talk about 5 reasons people are leaving Colorado Springs. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Mark with My Front Range Living, your real estate resource for Colorado Springs. First and foremost, let's talk politics. I know that nobody likes to talk about politics, but interestingly enough, over all the years that we've been recording videos, the number one question we get, what are the politics like? Hey, look, here's the deal. The state itself, you can look historically, we're blue. We're blue all day long. Donald, if you're watching, you don't have a chance come November. You know you don't. It's not going to happen.
Oh, throw him the hell out of here.
We are a blue state, but Colorado Springs specifically has a tendency to be purple. Historically, it's been red for quite some time, and as things change and the city becomes more progressive, we're starting to see that politics are purple. So if you think that you're coming here for any sort of conservative or liberal, either way, one leaning one way, it's not going to happen. We're a purple city. We're pretty conservative, and we're becoming more progressive. So excited about that, and you need to know that as you think about moving here. And like I said, if you think that you're going to vote for Donald and it's going to make a difference in the state of Colorado, it's just not going to happen. The second thing that people just don't like about Colorado Springs is the altitude. Here's the deal. Altitude is a very real thing. Number one, it's a semi-arid climate here in Colorado Springs because of our elevation. Means it's dry to begin with. When you add elevation, that makes it that much more difficult to breathe and to stay hydrated. The altitude can really impact people's health, and they don't necessarily care for that, so they bolt to Florida or other places that are closer to sea level. I get it. Florida's not for me. Too many bugs as they fly around my head here at the park. The third reason people are leaving Colorado Springs is it's just too expensive. Let's be honest. Housing has gotten really expensive, specifically in the last 5 years here in Colorado Springs. The average sales price right now in the MLS for Pikes Peak region is $563,000. That's a median sales price of $490,000. That's just not attainable right now. Add that with the current mortgage rates and the fact that insurance premiums have gone up about 30% because of the risk of fire and hail and wind and everything else. It's just gotten really expensive here in Colorado Springs, and housing's not attainable. Now, it's true that we are adding more units, absolutely understood. Unfortunately, they're coming in the form of apartments and things that people can rent. And we're finding that folks these days really don't want to rent. They're looking to buy and live that American dream. So if you're thinking about coming to Colorado Springs and it's expense that you're worried about, we're a pretty expensive state when it comes to housing, so keep it in mind. The fourth thing that we want to talk about, look, we have grown like a weed in Colorado Springs since 1991. If you look at population growth since that time, specifically over the last decade, it has blown up. Here's the reality. El Paso County, where Colorado Springs resides, is more populated than Denver County. Now, I understand Denver County is landlocked. I get it. But the reality of it is there's more people in El Paso County than there is in Denver County. What that means is there's a ton of freaking people here in Colorado Springs. We have not been able to sustain the growth. Too many people have come in, and we haven't been able to sustain it. And we keep building. We go back to point number 3. We're continuing to build, but our water resources simply aren't there. We have to take a look at that, which is a great segue into number 5. Here's the deal. Our infrastructure in Colorado Springs is horrible. Yimmy, love you mean it, but the reality of it is our city is lagging when it comes to infrastructure. We don't have the water resources that it takes to handle the growth that we've seen over the last several decades. We certainly don't have the roadways. You can hear behind me maybe just a little bit. Iris is going to edit some of it out, but I-25 is behind me. That's really the only north-south thoroughfare we have. And when you have 750,000 people that want to go north and or south at the same time, it backs up quick. The reality of it is our infrastructure is not set up for the population growth that we've seen over the last several decades, the last 10 years specifically. So we really need to work on that. And what's really interesting, especially as you go out east, yes, they continue to build. Again, they're trying to keep up with the growth, But the reality of it is they're being reactive instead of proactive in the infrastructure. They're having to go back and redo roads that probably should have done to be when the project started, and we're just not very good at that here in Colorado Springs. If you are thinking about coming to Colorado Springs, we do have a relocation guide. You can check that out in the description of the video. That's down there. That's yours to keep. It just gives you a better idea of some of the criteria here in Colorado Springs that might best fit your needs. So now that you know all of this great stuff about Colorado Springs, yes, not gonna lie, it's beautiful. Look at that mountain view, right? And the surroundings. Yeah, we're in a park right now. We're seeing a ton of people going walking, bicycling, hiking. It's a lot of fun, and it's an outdoorsman's dream. But the reality of it is, it's not all roses. You got to keep these things in mind as you uproot your family and come to live the American dream here in Colorado Springs. In addition to the relocation guide, check out these neighborhood videos right here. It's really tough to shop in Colorado Springs from a distance. If you're thinking about relocating, you may not know where to go. And based on what I just said, oh crap, Mark, what am I getting myself into? Check out these neighborhood videos. These are going to help you out, chock full of information about different parts of Colorado Springs that might help you make that decision as you come this way. And if you want to reach out to us, feel free to do so. The link to our website is in the description of the video, myfrontrangeliving.com. Yeah, you can look for houses, but more importantly, you can find our contact information to reach out to us and the team. You can find great restaurants. You can find hiking spots, places to kayak. You can find all sorts of great resources about Colorado Springs and why we love it. Yeah, I know today was kind of a downer, but let's be real. We love Colorado Springs and the surrounding area. So as always, thanks so much for stopping by. We look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day. And here's the reality. When we talk about expensive, I can't even afford my house right now. If I were to go back and have to buy my house right now in this market, I couldn't do it because of the home value, the mortgage rates, and the freaking insurance costs. I couldn't even live in my own house. That's not cool. It doesn't work for me.